welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and on today's program, we will get an update from Philip Chong of Quincy Asian Resources about their new mental health outpatient program and a recap of the August Moon Festival and more. First, though, as always, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, definitely feels like the first day of fall today. It's 55 degrees right now and quite breezy as well, with a mix of sun and clouds. Highs today only in the upper 50s. That wind's got a bit of a bite to it as well. Chilly night tonight. Temperatures will dip into the mid 40s this evening. Warms up over the weekend though. Tomorrow definitely the better of the 2 days with abundant sunshine, milder temperatures. Highs tomorrow near 70 degrees. Still okay for most of the day. On Sunday, maybe some afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms. Most of the day should stay dry, though, with a high Sunday in the lower 70s. Not bad here on Monday with a mix of sun and clouds, and highs again in the low 70s. Again, bright and brisk 55 in Quincy right now. Checking news for you today. If Quincy Ward 4 City Councilor Brian Palmucci becomes an Associate Justice in the District Court, he would have to resign as Ward 4 Councilor at the end of the year. City Clerk Nicole Crispo informed the City Council this week that Palmucci would not be able to hold an elected position if his nomination by Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito is confirmed by the Governor's Council.
And as soon as I get something from Councilor Palmucci that says that he'll be moving on, I'll be sure to bring it to the mayor and to the city solicitor and get their opinion before I do move forward. However, I do agree with you and that there is some special legislation in the Act of 2004 that calls for a special election in the first 12 months of office. But then there's also our city charter, which reflects 50A, that says that if a council member leaves, that the other councilors may appoint somebody as well. So just for complete clarification, I would, of course, refer to the solicitor before I put anything before you councilors for an election calendar.
If a special election is needed, a preliminary would be held in January and a final election in February. The winner would serve out the remainder of Palmucci's term through next year, and then could run for the full 2-year term in the municipal election next year. Palmucci's been Ward 4 councilor since 2010, says he remains focused on that job until his judgeship nomination is determined. Quincy Ward 5 Councilor Chuck Phelan wants to rezone the MBTA bus garage property on Hancock Street over to open space. Phelan's introduced an ordinance. It would rezone that property from Residence D to open space. He says the move is meant to protect the property from future development.
I bring this measure in because the MBTA will be leaving there, and the area could be you could build a 20-story building there if you wanted to, if we left the zoning category just the way it is. So I'm bringing this in, and environmentally, you got Blacks Creek, you got everything there. We also have the sports things, with the stadium and everything, which is in total active use all the time. And this was an area, was MBTA and then Easton Bus. They've never paid taxes because they've always been an authority. So this isn't taking anything off the tax rolls. And I would like to do this. This will also trigger hearings before the planning board and here before the city council, so the public will have a chance to weigh in. I'm doing this to protect the neighborhood that's right across the street. And I think from a neighborhood protection, also from an environmental protection, it makes sense because that's the main drainage for the area coming down Furnace Brook. Cunningham Brook goes down there. It's protecting a watershed that goes all the way back to St. Moritz Pond in West Quincy.
MBTA will eventually relocate the bus garage to a new facility at the former Lowe's store on Bergen Parkway. And Mayor Thomas Koch says he would like to acquire the old garage location for use as a possible indoor sports complex. Mayor says the T has not objected to transferring the 3.7-acre property over to the city. However, the T is still negotiating to build their new bus garage. which came in well over the $300 million cost estimate. Quincy City Council wants to make sure that the city is paying enough to retain its current employees and attract new workers. Councilors this week approved a resolution proposed by Ward 4 Councilor Brian Palmucci calling for a review of compensation for all city employees.
There is a drain in talent, and we want to make sure that we can retain talent in the city. Obviously, we'll never be able to compete with private companies, nor should we. This is public service, but it's something worth looking at, and maybe we do something with that information, maybe we don't, but it's certainly something worth looking at. So I'd ask that this be, put into the oversight committee.
Mayor Thomas Koch says an outside firm is currently working with the city to review wages and will be issuing a public report soon. A Hyde Park man has been charged with stabbing another man during a road rage incident in Quincy last week. 20-year-old Zakar Bell Warren was charged with stabbing the 30-year-old Quincy man multiple times during an altercation on Glover Avenue in North Quincy last Thursday afternoon. Warren was arrested at his girlfriend's home in Weymouth this past Monday night, charged with armed assault with intent to murder, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Police say Warren stabbed the victim during a road rage incident near the Quincy Catholic Academy at about 1 o'clock last Thursday afternoon, then fled. He was also reportedly armed with a gun. Officials said the school, though, was never in any danger. The victim has since been released from Boston Medical Center. Police were set to execute a search warrant at Warren's home to look for the knife and gun. That's our check of news. Coming up, Philip Chong from Quincy Asian Resources is here to provide us with an update on a new program that's next. Welcome back. Philip Chong is here from Quincy Asian Resources to chat about a lot that's happened and a lot that's going to happen at Quarry. Philip, great to see you again.
Thank you, Joe.
Oh, pleasure. I guess the biggest thing that just recently happened was Big August Moon Festival, right?
Yeah. So it was great. It was Sunday, August 21st, and we have a little over 15,000 people attended.
15,000 people.
I think I've been very lucky. I mean, since I've been with Quarry, this is my 6 years. Every year I hit the jackpot of the weather.
Yes.
So very, very fortunate, and it's been amazing festival with the city support, and then with all the sponsors and volunteers and staff. It's just a great day for the family and children and everyone. So
was this the first year that you could have like a full-blown event after the pandemic? Because of the pandemic?
Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely, yes. So yeah, a lot of blessing, and so glad to see all the people.
Yeah, let's show
coming
some
in support.
pictures. We have a couple of pictures we
Yes.
can show folks. It took over Coddington Street.
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
from the library all the way down to the YMCA.
Yes.
It was a sea of people, as you see there, yeah.
Yeah, definitely need to give the credit to the Y as well. We have free ice cream, and then candy sweets, and then you saw the rock climbing. These are youth volunteers, and this has been the 35th years celebration, annual celebration for August Moon Festival in Quincy. So a lot of volunteer support. Oh my goodness, look at the people, the sea, sea of people.
And like you say, the beautiful day that you had.
It's a beautiful day,
Yeah.
so I couldn't ask for more. And people are very happy, and just going through the street, meeting all the vendors and supporters, and enjoying the day and spending time with family. So yeah.
Well, I mean, 30 years, so you've got folks there who may have been, 2 or 3 when they went to their first one. Now they have children of their own.
Yes, definitely. So hopefully, it's continue, and I'm sure that it will be continue as a momentum for 100 years, 200 years. It's like our history.
Did you climb the rock wall?
I haven't yet.
No, okay.
Okay, if you come next year, I will do it with you.
Is that a challenge?
Let's do that. Let's do a throwdown for that.
Okay.
Are you promising me?
No, I'm not. No, not promising at all.
Yeah, they do a dunk tank this year, actually.
Oh, were you in the dunk tank?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't.
Did you dunk anybody?
No, I did not. I did not. I was running around back and forth. But I would do rock climbing. if you are someone. So maybe send someone from your crew.
Is there like a big mattress at the bottom in case you fall? You know,
Yes,
something
yes,
to catch you.
Yes. So there's safety harness, and yeah, so a lot of people doing the rock climbing.
Yeah.
So it's great.
It's
And
all about fun, right?
it's all about fun,
Yeah.
and the weather was just amazing.
Spectacular,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see new faces every year, Philip?
Yes,
You do?
yes,
Yeah.
lots of new faces, and besides all the vendors, their performances. You know, we have a traditional dragon and lion dance at the opening.
Yep.
All the cultural performances, and so you see all different faces. Very diverse,
Yes.
very diverse. So very happy, very excited.
We were happy to support you in that.
Thank
We
you.
had some cameras there, and
Yes.
folks can see some highlights here on
Your crew was
QATV.
there too.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes, sure, absolutely. The main reason to bring you over today really is to talk about the mental health outpatient program.
Yes.
Already in its first year, pretty much, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
This is a 3-year program
A 3-year plan.
to
3-year plan.
implement this program.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work
It's
to
a
plan it.
huge undertaking.
It
Philip.
is.
Yeah.
It is. But it's been a calling. We've been working very diligently with the school, with the community leaders and different nonprofit organizations, as well as city, to really support the youth, the family, especially for the Asian immigrants.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of inequity in terms of on the cultural language side, especially accessing mental health services. We saw tragic incidents from our youth programs. Some,
So- Suicide?
suicidal situations
Okay.
and stuff like that. So we have been partnering with Aspire, which was a former social mental health.
Yes. Yeah.
And the city and social health in terms of incorporating more cultural and linguistic clinical and social services to the school, to the youth, to the family. And so it's definitely a huge undertaking. It's a lot of work, but we believe that is something that we have to do right now. And I'm very fortunate to do that.
I wanted to read the vision and the
Please,
mission.
yes.
Because I think it
Thank
really
you.
spells it out
Yes.
clearly as to what it is you're trying to do. The vision is to provide culturally and linguistically relevant clinical and social services, furthering the growth and wellness of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Mission, to improve a community wellness by integrating clinical services that bridge language, cultural barriers, and break the stigma for Asian and immigrant communities. So, a huge undertaking.
It's a huge undertaking. I mean, you just said something that is so important, which is a stigma, especially in our community. As myself, as an Asian American, I personally benefit in terms of realizing the help and services that I can get from the mental health side. I'm 46 years old. I started seeing therapists when I was 37, and it changed my life
Really?
personally. Yes, but this is something that I wouldn't be able to talk to my parents and my folks. It's something that they would think that it's my problem. So those are statements that we really want to help the community to understand. It is something that is having a primary care. It shouldn't be shame. It shouldn't be something that you don't feel comfortable to talk about that.
So you're just about a year into it.
In terms of the applications to get the license.
Yeah.
But in terms of the work that we've been working with the school,
Yep.
working with the youth and family, it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
We have a lot of focus group, we have something called Bubble Tea Time for the youth. We partner with Aspire and their teams to really giving the time and safe haven for the youth to talk about different sensitive topics and stuff like that. So
So really, you're bringing this in-house at Quarry.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you've kind of outsourced it in the past, but
Yes.
now you're bringing it in-house with your own team, right?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. So we're very fortunate. We got our clinical director, Dr. Han No. So she's multilingual,
Okay.
Vietnamese, Mandarin, Cantonese, and she's a licensed psychologist. And we also have
We have a picture of her we can
yes,
show folks, actually.
yes.
There she is.
So she's been great, and she's been working with us to plan and implementing this program
Okay.
for the community. We also have a licensed psychiatrist, Dr. Michael Alpert. He had been working at the Southfield Community Health Center.
You stole him.
No, I did not actually.
Okay.
He used to.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And he's fluent in Mandarin.
Is that right?
He's fluent in Mandarin.
I understand he lived in China for several years.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
amazing, amazing. And we also have a licensed social worker that multilingual and definitely understanding the community and culture.
That is
So
that is the key, isn't it?
it is a key.
Yeah.
It is a key. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, with the pandemic and all the situation, it's a huge, like, long wait for individuals and family if they want to see a bilingual therapist. It's a long, long wait.
Right.
If we can do something and help to bring that access to our clients, is something that we do in the good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has your experience in the private healthcare sector, Philip, helped you put this program together?
We work very closely with the private sectors
Yeah.
in terms of collaboration through their foundations, in terms of creating more awareness. Definitely, we got a lot of support from all different organizations. It is something that I think a lot of private sector, public sectors see that is something that we have to, you know, do it, and we really have to tackle these social issues.
Was it the pandemic that triggered you to implement this program, or would that happen before the pandemic hit?
I would say I always, since my journey, when I start, you know, seeing my therapist,
Yeah.
I really saw the change of myself. I personally believe it, and in terms of professionally, we know that there's a huge demand for that. But the pandemic definitely exacerbates
Yes.
the situation and demand. But in the silver lining, the pandemic enabled more receptive for individuals to see their therapist
It
through
made it
telehealth.
okay, right?
Yeah,
Made it
okay,
okay. Yeah.
and then also how they see it.
Yeah.
Because many times that before the pandemic, it was more in person.
Yes.
But right now, because of the pandemic, the telehealth
Yep.
is more receptive, and also breaking a barrier in terms of inequity, because a lot of Asian immigrants, they have to work many hours, and if we can allow technologies to make that more accessible for them, is also another good that we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. And
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, it's not only Corey, as I'm sure you're aware. The folks at Interface Social Services
Yes.
have been trying to stop the stigma.
Yes.
For many years now.
Yes.
And other mental health agencies also are
Yes.
aware of the stigma. So, do you think it's not just cultural? It's maybe it's societal.
It definitely is a huge part. We also been working with community partners on the South Shore Behavioral Health Initiative, with Bay State, with QCAP, Interfaith,
Yeah.
and a lot Aspire, really working together. So it's definitely not just Corey,
Yeah.
but we know that if we can do more, it's something that we want to do now.
Yeah, although as you pointed out, it's so important. If there's a language barrier, that's just another hurdle, that
Yes.
somebody has to overcome to get the care that they need. It's already been a quote-unquote mental health pandemic, if you will, because of COVID-19.
Yes.
But to add that barrier of not being able to communicate your feelings, your needs
Yes.
to your caregiver, that's going to put you even more behind the eight balls, or
Or even bury that because of the stigma
or get
taboo.
no
yeah.
help, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Is it a generational thing too? Are you finding that younger folks are more receptive than older people?
I always tell people that I'm 30s, so so if that's true, that yes, definitely. I think we see a different perspective in different generations. But one of the things that our mission, in terms of Corey as an organization, through the work that we're doing, especially in the workforce, because we touch upon a lot of immigrants' workforce through our programs and initiative, we want to provide clarity. We want to provide these services to create clarity for them. Sometimes in life, it's not about what you don't have, It's about what you can leverage in terms of resources. So, but that really based on the clarity that you need to able to see it. And many times is, you know, the behavioral health services that if they really start talking about that, maybe they will get that clarity in life. Yeah.
I don't think people appreciate the work that it took to get this program approved by the state, because it has to be approved by the state.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we're working on that, and we got all the required materials, information already submitted. So we're waiting for our provisional licensings, and then once we have it, we can start doing the intake and providing services to the community.
Okay. Has it been a challenge to find clinicians?
Extremely challenges. Extremely challenges.
sure.
Yep. Burnout. Also, clinician also got burnout. They also need their self-care and stuff like that. And generally speaking, with bilingual therapists and clinician, there's a huge shortage of that. I think one of the component that we want to do through this program is encouraging graduating senior from the high school, especially immigrants with bilingual, to choose social work or psychotherapy as a career pathway.
Interesting.
Because many times that Asian and immigrant families or parents, they don't see that as a glorious career pathway. So we want to change that because we need to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working with the schools to that end?
We're working with the school very closely, and then we can't say enough in terms of Quincy Public School, how much they support the work that we're doing. It's a great partner.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Are you also reaching out to students who may be experiencing a mental health crisis?
Yes,
to
we
try
have
and let
been.
them know that this is going to be a service that will be
Yes.
available. Yeah.
Definitely.
What's left in your 3-year plan? Where do you go to next with this? Everything.
You know me. You know me for quite a few years
Yes.
now. There's always something. We've been expanding on our workforce, and last year we were chosen. Corey was chosen as a first nonprofit delivery service partner by Amazon in the nation.
Hence the sweatshirt that you're wearing.
Yes, yes. It's a workforce franchise model. We're very excited, and with all the support, we were able to onboard and hire over 300 immigrant associates and to work at Amazon, and then also we provide wraparound social services at the workplace.
Okay.
With learning English, pathway to citizenship, and health and wellness.
You started, as I recall, with Brooks Brothers.
With Brooks
right?
Brothers.
That was spurred by the pandemic.
Yes. Brooks Brothers, and then South Shore Health.
Okay.
We still have the partnership with South Shore Health. They're very supportive. And recently we launched with the partnership with Claremont. And Claremont, they do have franchise for the hotels. Hilton and Marriott, pretty much across Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been very, very successful in partnering with major organizations,
Yes.
for-profit organizations
Yes.
across the country.
Yes.
What do you attribute that success to, Philip?
This is a very good question. So when we launched at Amazon, the Amazon people asked the same thing. Philip, why are you here, right? So I was telling them that we want to live and breathe with the critical mass. We identify employers with mass immigrant workforce population, and we know where our clienteles are. If we are not being there to really understand their pain points and how we can help them to navigate, we're not doing our job. So we roll up the sleeves, as we always say, all hands on deck. And those are partnerships that we see how we can be more innovative in terms of helping these people. Because many times, when we first started with Brooks Brothers, we knew that a lot of them work 40, 50, 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
We need them to access these services more conveniently. So workplace is no-brainer for us.
Basically, you're showing them the power of your community, right?
Yeah.
And the dedication and commitment,
Yes.
and how they can benefit that organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being there, you create a presence and relationship, and
Yes.
bottom line is the trust.
Yeah.
So
couple of more pictures we want to show folks
yes.
real quick from your, was this an Amazon outing that we had?
Yes,
or a convention?
Yeah, we're very lucky. We were invited to the Amazon National Conference
Oh, okay.
2 weeks ago. We were speaking at one of the sessions in regards of the DEI at the workplace.
Yeah.
And with 4,000, there's a 4,000 attendees.
Wow.
They all workforce franchise, and Corey is a first nonprofit workforce franchise at
Wow.
Amazon. We were being recognized in terms of the great work that we're doing. So we are. It's definitely very proud
Yeah.
of the team, our team, and our immigrant associates in terms of all the great work they're doing, and they're believing in this mission. So that's very important.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Oh, it's great to see you. Please
you.
come back real soon.
Will do.
All right. Just enough time to recap the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. It'll be bright, brisk, and breezy out there with temperatures only in the upper 50s this afternoon, down to the mid 40s this evening, so bundle up. Tomorrow looks great, sunny, near 70. Okay on Sunday, maybe some late day showers, and back to partly cloudy skies again on Monday. Thanks again to Philip Chong for joining us from Quincy Asian Resources. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Monday here in the show, Quincy College President Rich Cristofaro will be joining us. Don't forget, check out our website anytime, qatv.org. Our newest programs there, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great weekend.